Okay, Cancer, this video is for those of you who are a sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, or Venus sign Cancer, and are in a twin flame connection. You could also be someone who's watching for someone that's a Cancer, that's a cross watcher. And, you know, either way, I'm happy you're here. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is a general message, so take what resonates and leave the rest. If it does resonate, please like, share, comment, and or subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated. We also have, if you want your own personalized reading, please check out the information in the description box. All right, let's take a look and see what is at the surface of the connection for you this week, Cancer. Today is the first full day of Pluto going direct. So we have self-imposed entrapment. And I feel that's kind of been the theme for you, Cancer. You're kind of keeping yourself perhaps in a situation that that's not benefiting you, but you feel you have to stay there. I don't know. It's attachment to things, but yeah, it's also about perception and awareness. So let's see what else we can get from this. What past events have had an effect on your connection? This is this is your card in the major arcana, Cancer, the Chariot. So I feel like maybe some decisions you've made, perhaps something you've done, and this isn't always a bad thing, okay? They may have brought the awareness to you. It may have, it may have garnered you some sort of shift in perception about the situation you're actually in. So I don't know if this is feminine energy or masculine energy, but let's keep going. Okay, this Cancer is an offer of love. So again, I don't know if the cards are going to come out, but I get this a lot for some reason with your sign, that this, I feel, okay, this was a recent, what I was going to ask for was a recent event that has had an effect, that has sort of like that domino effect. And I feel that, I don't know, for some of you, okay, this is for people who are, it's almost like for some of you, you've received an offer of love of some kind, or of emotional communication, or, so I'm seeing this in two ways, okay? So the first way is the way that these cards have been coming up for you for the past few weeks, where you've received an offer of love, perhaps from someone else or from your counterpart. And maybe it hasn't quite happened yet, but it's the recent, so near future. So today, tomorrow, within the next week. And I feel that that's going to, it's going to make you feel more trapped than you've ever been trapped. Because I feel like you've always placated where you're at, like, well, I have this and I have that and blah, 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 and sort of just ignoring how you truly feel in the situation. And I feel that this particular action on your behalf in regards to this, I feel like even though this is past and this is recent future or near future, I feel like they're very intertwined. And it could have been a decision to engage with this person. It could have been, something where you decided to go forward with something, or to engage with the person, and then that propelled this conversation or this emotional relationship further. So that's one way. Another way I see this is that some of you have finally opened up to seeing what love is in the connection, and that opened you up for an offer of love from your counterpart. Okay, but either way, the situation you're in now is you feel like your hands are tied. Okay, you feel like your hands are tied and you're kind of stuck where you're at. So let's see what the internal influences are So this could be emotional, this could be ego, this could be lessons that you've just recently learned. I still see you though, Cancer, at, oh my goodness, okay. I still see you, Cancer, being at the helm of your own ship though. These decisions, regardless of how things turn out for you, have been yours all along. So we have the Knight of Cups. So this is an offer in love, and or this is, I feel like for some of you, you from an internal standpoint, and maybe this is like emotional communication. Okay, and some of you, for your counterparts, this is an apology. So, sorry, I'm going to take this card out for a second, and we're going to go back to the statement I had, because I'm just hearing that I didn't fully explain this. So for some of you, when you chose to open up, this is not about another offer. This is about the group of you that have finally made the decision to open up to the love and the connection you have with your counterpart, and that has created space for an apology. I had to go back to that just so we can remember, because this is emotional communication. This is also emotional communication and an offer of love, but in a more deep way. So for some of you, Cancer, whoever you're with now is not making the offers of love that you truly want deep down. Okay? They're not taking this level of commitment to the level that you want it to be. And that has opened, and it's how you choose to go about it is how karma is going to roll out for you. But this is just about that awareness for you that you intrinsically know what you want on an emotional level from your partner. So for some of you that are in third-party situations, this is saying, you know what, I am not getting what I need from that partner. And it's having an effect on your connection, because it's opening you up to that deep, unconditional love that your counterpart can offer. On the flip side of that, okay, for some of you, you're realizing, if you're not with anybody, okay, maybe this self-imposed entrapment is about you tying your own hands because you're afraid of what the connection could mean for you. Okay, so that opening up and untying your hands has also created this effect on your connection, in the sense that you want more out of your relationships. Okay, so I know that we're dealing with two different stories or two different collective groups, so please stick with me, because I'm hearing that it's important that I talk about both of them, because we have people on both sides of the fence right now. We have people in karmic situations that have kept themselves there for whatever reason. And this is for some of you, so for some of, let's say your counterpart is in a karmic situation, this could be the karmic energy. Okay, this is where the karmic is starting to realize this situation and behaving in this way too. So just be open-minded to the fact that the energy is interchangeable, and just take what really resonates with you, because that's the message you're meant to hear. So let's see what external influences are affecting your connection this week, Cancer. Oh, I got a twofer. Yeah. Okay, you're getting real about your emotional bliss. Like, what is happiness for you? What does that mean? And are you getting it where you're at? Are you going to allow love in to get you to this place, and allow that feeling to guide your decisions? Okay, or are you going to stay in this self-imposed entrapment and just continue to fester the karma? Because when we tend to act out of a place of ego, or make our decisions from that space, we hurt ourselves and we hurt others, and that's really just not necessary anymore. So maybe you're seeing other people and how happy they are, and you want that. So I'm gonna and maybe you're not getting it where you're at, and it's opening you up, or you're realizing that you could have that with yourself, and therefore with your counterpart, or your twin flame, if that's what you really want. But you're really in this process. And I feel there are certain things, because this is a destiny card, I feel like there were certain events that put you down on this path, Cancer, that, you know, and again, I feel like we've had this energy a few times for you where it's just been like you're starting to let your heart guide you. Some of you, and this is just again an awareness. Some of you need to be mindful about when your ego is stepping in, your protective ego, and it's what it does is it shifts you to the material and attachment side of things. So, you know, maybe you're comfortable, you know, financially where you're at, but you're emotionally miserable. It's really time to dig deep and realize that when you're happy, your abundance comes. So, you know, keeping yourself in a miserable place just because there's material comforts is not a space. It's not good for your soul. Anyways, I digress. Let's take a look at fear, a fear that needs to be illuminated so that you can see the truth of the situation and release that dependency on creature comforts. I'm hearing creature comforts. There's status, there's money. You know, for some of you, that's a lot of fear. So we're just not going to take all those out because it's going to be a really long video then. Again, this isn't shame or judgment, Cancer. This is just an awareness piece about the choices you're making and why you're making them. Because I feel, you know, things have been put into motion because this is in the past. So this could be very recent past, you know, this could be months ago. Maybe you started engaging with someone. Maybe it just opened you up to a more emotionally fulfilling life. Okay, and it doesn't matter if you're a karmic, it doesn't matter if you're a twin flame, it doesn't matter if you're not any of those things. You know, this is kind of where you need to be at in order to really feel emotionally fulfilled. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so I feel that some of you are afraid the tower will fall. Okay, this ivory tower you've put yourself in, you know, again, that material comforts comes up, but I feel like an understanding that you're standing on top of a tower that is as sturdy as sturdy as like a house of cards in a tornado. Okay, it's not a solid foundation. And the fear of that coming crashing down is going to happen no matter what. Like, the fear is not going to happen. The fear that it's going to happen if you do certain things is an illusion, because this tower is going to fall no matter what. Because when things aren't meant to be, especially if you're, you know, if you're with someone without that altruistic intention, right? You have an opportunity. You can be the force for change and make the decisions from a heart-based place and release yourself from that self-imposed entrapment. Or you can be subjected to the change that's coming, because things have already been set in motion to put you in this space of forcing you into this more loving, happy life. It's going to force you out if you choose not to do what you need to do out of genuine happiness and out of like what's best for your soul. It's sort of pushing your ego out of the way and giving your ego no choice but to allow you in this state of happiness, which isn't terrible, but it can be a very difficult, very heartbreaking way to go about things when you actually have this moment right now, Cancer, to make the decision to avoid all of that. It's still going to hurt in some way. There's still going to be people hurt, but it's not going to be the same deep betrayal. It's just going to be, you know, it's going to help all parties involved to heal faster. Okay, let's take a look at possible outcomes between you and your counterpart. And I don't know why I always pick up so much, like, I don't know why that happens. I apologize for some of you that just don't get a straight up twin flame reading like everyone else. I feel like there's a distinct group of you that are going through this right now, where there's some karmic energies, and there's nothing wrong with that. We all make the decisions we need to make for the reason we need to make them, for whatever lessons we need to learn. Okay. So this is the the Knight of Wands. This is passionate communication, but it's also, it can be playboy energy, playgirl energy. Maybe there's some flirting going on. I feel though that in a future outcome, this is about understanding what makes you feel alive, Cancer. Are you feeling alive in the situation you're in? Or are you looking for that fire elsewhere? Like there's, are you open to finding that fire elsewhere and freeing yourself from whatever situation you're in that isn't providing you the ability to love yourself and therefore create love within the relationship? All right, let's see what the Divine Masculine's higher self and the Divine Feminine's higher self have to say. Okay, to those in a twin flame connection, to those Cancer. And again, if this has helped you or it resonated with you at all, please like, share, comment, and or subscribe. And if you would like a personalized reading, the information is in the description box below. Because as I said, like I'm getting a couple groups here. It is generalized, so it may not resonate with you completely, but that is because there's more than one of you. All right, let's take a look at the Divine Masculines. True love. This is the romance of a lifetime indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of my life. So yeah, what I'm getting from this Cancer is this is, for some of you, you're still in this state of being unable to make a decision about the situation you're in. And again, it's sort of these tower moments. You're worried about, you're worried about the opinions. You're worried about how it's going to look when the castle crumbles. But it wasn't really a solid foundation. It wasn't a solid castle in the first place. And you are worthy of true love. You're worthy of loving yourself enough to do what you need to do to be happy. And in doing that, you're going to reconnect with the person you're meant to be with, if that's what you want. Like, you're meant to have that kind of love in your life. But as long as you ignore the awareness that's around the lessons you're learning, you're going to stay in a state of indecision. So it's up to you. I mean, again, there's no judgment here. This is whatever path you're meant to be on. But here you are. I feel like if you're here watching this, that maybe you do want perception and awareness around whatever situation is going on. And for some of you, you might be, your twin flame might be in this situation that they're going through. And it's for you to understand maybe where their struggle is coming from. And again, these are just old learned behaviors and concepts that we're breaking down to open up to true happiness and love and enlightenment and all that good stuff. Yeah. So this is very, yeah. So I kind of just spoke a little bit to that, but here we are. We have keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. Okay, so forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. Okay, so this is very interesting to me because I'm getting a little bit of two messages here. One, for some that are in the twin flame collective and some that are maybe in the situations that they're in the situation with these people because they're the type of person that their family, their friends, etc. expect them to be with. Okay, that's their usual type. But perhaps where their love and their happiness isn't with somebody that's normally their type. I feel whatever emotional communication is going to open up here, either for the karmic in the situation or for you and your twin flame, I feel like it's just going to come from a place of it's going to sort of be a little bit surprising for some people who haven't actually met their twin flame. I just feel like whoever this is for needs to shift from a physical view to an emotional view of the person, because they're not the type of person that people would expect them to be with. And that's going to resonate with whoever. So I'm going to leave it at that. The forgiveness piece, however, is speaking about acknowledging, loving, and accepting your twin flame for where they're at. and keeping an open mind about the type of stereotypes or archetypes or expectations that they're breaking down, and knowing that that's not something that can happen overnight. So there needs to be a little bit of forgiveness here and acceptance, and allowing your counterpart to go through whatever they need to go. And this is, again, a specific message for some of you who may be waiting for that apology, and just knowing that it's not an easy road that they're on, and you may not be able to witness what's going on with them, but to keep an open mind and come from a state of love toward them, because they are struggling in their own way to try and break down the paradigms that they have been raised with, just as we all are. But it's all positioning you, Cancer, to be in this amazing, powerful state of happiness for you. It's just that there's some things there's some boundaries that need to be broken down in order to do that. All right, be your peace, love yourself, share your light, and have an amazing week, Cancer.